Hello, you're welcome to Gist Arena. All we do is and gist. We discuss topical, trending, and exciting topics, and we have fun while at it. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy each thrilling moment of and gist. Hello, welcome to another episode of Gist Arena, where all we do is and gist. I trust that you've had a wonderful day so far. I trust that you've had a wonderful week so far. If you've not had a great week, there's some days ahead of us. I don't know what day of the week you're listening to this, but there are always days ahead for you to do more things and make that'll probably make you feel a lot better than you feel now. Any which category you fall into, relax, sit back, and just listen to us as we discuss an interesting topic today. I am Cynthia, joined here today by my fellow co-gisters. Hi ladies, how are you doing? I trust you're doing very well. So today we'll be discussing dating for long periods. Is it mandated to end in marriage or not? What to do. Is it compulsory that if you've been dating somebody for a certain period that we will consider long, are you mandated to actually get married to that person, whether as the female or as the male? At what point can you pull out? At what point can you say, I'm not interested in proceeding? At what point do you start feeling bad, like, okay, fine, I might have to just get married to this person out of pity, and so on and so forth? So yes, it does promise to be an interesting one. Now, every now and then, we always see stories, that come out from either party, whether the male or the female side, when maybe someone comes and says that I've dated this person for so long, and this person just told me that they're no longer interested. After some will say 5 years, after 4 years, or after 10 years, this person is no longer interested. And they brought this thing to social media for people to judge and all of that. Some other people would maybe probably felt, would think that their partner was supposed to be somewhere else, and then they're just going online or seeing on their friends' statuses and seeing that this person probably went for their way, and they were actually getting married to somebody else, and then they start ranting about the number of years they spent together. We'll see stories from somebody else saying that I know that this person, I don't like this person that much, I've fallen out of love for them, but because we've dated for such a long time, I feel obligated. I feel like I have to get married to them. It doesn't feel like I've wasted their time. So yes, there's a lot of things that we're going to be discussing today. So first and foremost, I think we should start with this. What would you consider a long dating period? Should people even date for long times? I know that we have discussed sort of dating for long, whether one should date for long periods or not. But the context in which I'm bringing it in is into marriage. If you're thinking of, I think we should even go back a bit. If you're dating somebody, are you talking about marriage when you're dating the person? So let's assume you just met somebody today. Not meet. You decide that you want to ask somebody out and you want to start to actively date. Is that the time that you start to talk about marriage? Or at what point did you even start talking about marriage? Do you think like maybe, okay, a couple of months in or a couple of years in? And the reason why I ask this is it's going to help set up the premise upon which our following discussions are going to be had. So let's talk about dating. What do you think is the appropriate time for people to, what's the appropriate period or length that people should actually date for? And before dating, do you think people should discuss whether their dating is going to lead to marriage, or should they just wing it, so to say? Over to you, ladies.
Hello, Cynthia. Hi, everyone. It's good to be back here again on another episode of Gist Arena. My name is Ayatunde, and I'm doing very well, thank you. Don't mind my voice, but I'm doing very well. Thank you. And I'm sure we're all doing well too. Okay, so we are back to this topic. Yes, in season 1, we discussed something around dating, and we're here again. I guess it's an interesting topic, right? Okay, so how long should dating last before it escalates? That's before it goes a notch higher or moves to the next phase. Well, there are no hard and fast rules about these things. I have heard of people who dated for as short as 3 months and they got married. I've heard of people who dated longer than that. In fact, I've heard of 10 years or something, and well, they got married. So the time frame is not something anyone can peg. But I do not really subscribe to the donkey years kind of dating, because what would be the rationale behind that? And that just quickly takes me to the second question, because I want to tie both together. Now, you asked whether people can sit and, ask themselves when they start to date whether it's going to lead to marriage or not. Well, it may really sound absurd, for someone to ask on the first date, okay, so are we getting married? But then I think I've also had stories of people who actually, right from the outset, they already kind of like cleared that. And, that was what they were all about right from the get-go. So again, different strokes for different folks. Okay, but from what I have observed, really, people who are dating or in a dating relationship are usually in an exclusive relationship with the person they are dating. Okay, so except, it's said from the outset that, oh, this is an open thing, we're allowed to, date other people and everything like that. Usually, when you say you're dating someone, you are actually in an exclusive romantic relationship with that person. Okay, so it's not even like a platonic thing. Most times it's not like it's not a platonic thing. It is an exclusive, it's you and that person in that relationship, and it's romantic. Okay, it's a romantic relationship. And so that means that in that kind of relationship, you're going to invest. There's bound to be some, type of investment. You invest resources, invest time, invest emotions, and all of that. So the point is, why would you be doing all of that? Why would you be investing so much, if there is no goal in sight? Would that be in sight or in mind or something like that? There is no end goal. There is no objective. Now, it may not be spoken, at least not maybe the first date or something. Okay, so it's usually like, oh yeah, I want to get to know you and everything. But then why do you want to get to know this person? Why do you want to be in this kind of exclusive relationship with them if you have not thought somewhere at the back of your mind that, okay, I think I like this person enough, and if all things, are equal, all things being equal now, this is the kind of person that I would like to spend the rest of my life with, or I would, at least want to further this relationship, beyond this point. So there has to be some type of goal, in mind. Else, it would just be tantamount to a waste of time, a waste of resources, which doesn't make any sense to me. So I would want to believe that when you're getting into an exclusive romantic relationship with someone, which is what we usually term dating, there is a goal in mind. You have an objective, or you shall know that, this thing you're hoping, even if it's just to hope, that it's heading somewhere meaningful, right? Okay, so now if that's the case, then why would you drag it for long? 10 years. What are we doing? So that's how I want to tie both together. Like, if there is a goal in mind, then what's the point? What's the purpose of dragging it, so long? If you have, because dating for me would, in this context, would be that you're trying to kind of like lay a foundation for the next phase. So when you've laid that foundation, why would it take you donkey years anyway to lay that foundation? If you know what you want, you already have that goal in mind, then you work towards it, and it shouldn't take so long. All right, so I just think, I don't know, like I said, you can't peg the time frame. When you're ready, right? Okay, so but then I mean, if you have a goal in mind, I mean, if you go into a dating relationship, I want to believe that it should be purposeful. That's it. It should be purposeful. Shouldn't just be you're just hanging. I mean, if we're friends, let's be friends. If I just want to hang out, as friends and all of that, okay. But then if I'm going to be investing my time, investing my resources, my emotions, and everything, then it should be a purposeful relationship. So that means there is a purpose, in mind. Okay. And you work towards that. And you're not just, hanging like anger or something like that, Sorry. I mean, you sure know what I'm trying to say. Like, it shouldn't take too long.
Hi Cynthia, hi Doc, hi everyone. How you doing? Great to record again. Great to hear from you. So I kind of remember us having this conversation before about dating and courtship and all of that. And I think, please don't drag me in case it's not correct. I'm getting older, so please forgive me. I think I remember saying that I don't understand what dating is about. I don't get it. For me, in my opinion, if you are coming to someone to whatever it is you people call date, my expectation is that you want to have some form of exclusive relationship with this person because you could potentially see yourself spending your life together with this person. Otherwise, I just struggle with that thing where people are just hanging out for fun and all, and then you're expecting some level of exclusivity. I think it's selfish. You could be friends with people that you don't have any of those expectations. I have a lot of male friends that we've never dated, whatever it is you want to call that. Or maybe you people will say we were dating, but for me, we were friends. So we could go see a movie together. We could even have dinner together. Of course, I had to limit that by the time I got married, just as a matter of respect. But we are friends. Nobody's getting hurt when the other person says, "Oh, I'm getting married," because there were no expectations. I know that people in school there were a couple of people that were like, "Oh, Nikki, are you dating?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." We're just friends, and we're friends, and we're good. Both of us, it's clear between both of us that we're friends. Once in a while, I'll have to ask that, "Are you catching feelings?" Just so that I'm not being insensitive. And we are still friends today because we're friends, but we didn't get married to one another. Nobody's angry with the other person because we were just chilling and we're friends. And by the time I met the person that eventually married, of course, I didn't think I was going, but that's a long story anyway. It was different. So we were not just chilling and being friends and all. We were deliberate because we're getting married. We kind of could see ourselves getting married. So for me, I struggle with that thing called dating. It doesn't make sense to me. And with all the explanations I've heard, I still am not convinced about its value, honestly. But I can speak about courtship where you've both decided that, oh, I think this is someone that I really would like to have an exclusive relationship with, and then you are kind of trying to see if it can work between you and you get married. So for me, courtship is the one I can speak about because you've kind of both said we think we want to get married to one another. So I would say courtship is a period where you're really checking out to see, are we compatible? Are there things we can do together? And for me, I don't think there should be a hard and fast rule on how long it should be, but it shouldn't be for too long. You already have an idea of what you're looking out for. So you're just checking, do we gel? Do we jive? And it's a check. And once you've done your test, it's just like you asking me, how long should you be in school for? School they've already set a couple of courses. So if you're able to do things well and you're able to clear your courses earlier than the 4 years or 5 years, but they've already set a minimum of 4 years. So you have an idea. So it shouldn't be ever. I don't understand how people are courting for 10 years. It doesn't make any sense to me personally. I don't get it. But maybe you do. You can tell me. And the same for, then of course you should know. Then when you get to the point where you both realize that, oh, we are not compatible, it can't work. I think you need to be honest with each other. You should already be able to say that, oh, this is not going anywhere. I need to cut it off. And then, because I believe that most of the feelings of resentment and all that come is because people have lost themselves in a bid to try to make a relationship work, then it now doesn't work. And the guy meets someone in 2 to 3 months, for example, and decides, oh, this is the woman I want to spend my life with, and goes. Or it's a lady that has been stringing the man along for so long, and then she meets her spec in quotes, and she's like, yeah, this is the person. And then stories start, and you now start hearing, oh, after I've been all I've done for you for 10 years. Both of you were not being honest with yourselves for 10 years. Honestly, you were not. I'm sorry, it sounds cool, but you're probably better off, but you've wasted 10 years that you will never be able to get back. So I hope in your next relationship, you are more circumspect and intentional about what you have to do. You can't get back those last 10 years, but you can do something about the future. Be more intentional. Stop trying to make the person bend yourself to be able to be wife material or husband material. Be clear on who you want to spend your life with. Be clear on the people, whether the people you're with want to be with you or not. And be very clear. If it's not working, don't waste time. After 6 months, 1 year, you're still hearing answers. When you ask, what are we? You're hearing answers like we are nothing but pencil in the hand of the creator. You need to take a walk. Give yourself some dignity, self-respect. Just keep moving. I'm not saying that you should be quick to throw away relationships, but be quick to define what you want to accept and what you don't want to accept. Let me not start preaching because, I could be on this forever. Thank you as you start having sense. God bless you.
One thing that resonated or that came true, I think that's the same thing. Anyways, one thing that I heard from the both of you was intentionality. Intentionality during your quote and unquote union or yeah, togetherness. The intentionality when you're together, the fact that you both understand and clearly spell out what you guys are doing together, your future plans and all of that. I think that's what sets aside the kind of companionship that you're referring to a lot of what to a lot of what is out there. And the reason why this or situationship or scenario even came up is because, I mean, for a while now we've been seeing quite a number of situations that have come up. So I'm going to give two examples, or don't know, I'm going to give one example of that kind of scenario. This was someone's message on Twitter, and the person had said, I can't believe my girlfriend really think that I'm going to marry her and we will live happily ever after. As soon as I get a decent job, I'ma leave her and start dating my types. And there's sort of profanity that is used. I'm not going to be reading that. And this person went on to say that people need to understand that we are not entitled to be with them forever because they were with us when we were broke. We each have our own preference, and that doesn't make me love my current girlfriend any less. Things change, feelings change. It's a vicious lifestyle. If my girl could leave me for a guy who's well established and appreciate her more than I do, I would gladly accept and never hold her hostage just because she's been with me through thick and thin. This entitlement over people's lives is the reason people resort to violent behavior. I mean, I'd like to get your thoughts on what this person has said. For me, I feel like the moment, I mean, like you guys said, if we're together, for me, we're together because we're probably looking at the future together. If I mean, I've met some people that want to just be with people because they feel like just being with them. They don't have any future ambitions or they don't have any. I mean, they don't plan to be with them in the future. That is fine. I feel like you should communicate this with the partner you're with. Let the person know. Don't let it be one-sided. I mean, this person has said that he can't believe his girlfriend would think that he's going to be with her for life. I'm like, the moment you know that you're not going to be with this person for life, and you know for sure that she thinks you're going to be with her, you owe it to her to actually call her and explain. And her or him is not one-sided now, or is not one particular gender. The moment you feel like the other like you're not both wanting the same thing out of that particular relationship, and you know very well what the expectations of the other person is, but you choose to keep quiet because you just feel like you can keep quiet, and deep down within you, you know what you're going to do, then I mean, that ceases to be a mutual relationship. It now becomes one where you have the upper hand, and that is not fair. Under no circumstance, in my opinion, is that fair. I mean, if you're with somebody who is all for cruise, and you guys have your, rules well laid out. I mean, I was listening to an interview that Fowles for Folarin Falana was doing. I mean, and some ladies were asking him, um, how he is on the dating scene, because I mean, I think it's not news that he's not really interested in the idea of marriage, and he's dating a lot of people. I mean, he's hooking up with them, and he said that in fact, one of the very first things he establishes is this is what he is doing, this is what he's looking at. He's just looking for pure cruise, and he lets them know. Now, I solely would, endorse that kind of companionship and relationship, because it's clearly communicated to you that I'm not interested in this. If you are okay, let's ride together. Not that you are like, I want to end up, I hope that we will end up together. And me, I'll not be like, hopefully, or maybe, or whatever. And I really know deep down that I'm not going to end up with you. I think that's an unfair balance. So, guys, I mean, that's what I think about this particular, scenario. That's even why we're even discussing it as what do you guys think about it? Should people, is it okay to string people along? I mean, is it okay is it okay to, what do you think about the idea of staying with somebody through thick and thin, and you fall out of love, and you want to be with them for sake of what this person was with me? So it's sort of like two sides of the coin. You don't want to leave the person alone because they were with you through thick and thin. What do you guys think? Let me know.
Great question, Cynthia. Thank you. And I do I like your perspective, even if we don't totally agree, but at least I get where you're coming from. So for me, it's because of these types of things. That's why I'm like, at the beginning, let's be clear. What are we doing? Why are we together? What are we doing together? So for me, if you don't see a future with someone, don't ask them to be exclusive. That's witchcraft, in my opinion. You're being manipulative. That's what I think. Why can't you all just be friends? As in, you have friends, you get to hang out with your friends, and if you do want to sleep with them, I disagree. I don't believe in premarital sex. But if that's what you really want to do with this person because you are attracted to the person, make the offer, be clear, this is what I want. And if the person feels like that's what he or she that's what he or she is, if he or she is down with it, I don't endorse it, but at least you people are being honest with each other and you both know where you're going. I believe that the reason why people get so emotionally invested and all of that is that the other party has given them the impression that they want something more than what they truly want. So there's some deception somewhere in the middle. You've projected to them that, oh, I like you more than you really do like them. So for me, that's what I struggle with. If you don't think that you see yourself marrying this person in the future, then what are you doing together? Really, why are you wasting this person's time? Be very clear. This is what I want. Okay, I just want us to be friends with benefits or whatever, as they say it. Let the other person be upfront with people. And I think that's where it's witchcraft for you to have manipulated someone into thinking that you care about them more than you do. Then you string them along for many years. They're there, they are catching feelings and feeling like, oh, we're together and all of that. Then when you now find the person you love in quotes, you then just dump them and come with nobody is entitled to anybody. But if the other person that you claimed is not entitled to you was the one that maybe decided to cheat on you or dump you, you will feel hurt. So for me, it's people doing things that they cannot take. And for me, that's where the witchcraft is coming from. It is witchcraft. Even if no one else has told you, I'm telling you today. That nonsense about nobody is entitled to anybody. Nonsense. Well, today is my first day of hearing that Fowles has said that he doesn't see himself getting married or anything of the sort. I don't know, like if he has made up his mind that he wants to be someone's baby daddy, for example, I think that he should look for someone that feels the same way and they should hook up. I don't approve of that, of the whole idea, but I can live with the fact that the two people involved in whatever they are doing, whatever they are calling themselves, understand that this is where we are. Where I have a challenge is for someone that knows that he has no plans of getting married to go because maybe he feels like, oh, this other person is someone that I would like to be with for a while, for example. And then you know that the other person does not share the same values. Then you now pretend that, oh, really, for you, I've changed. I want to get married. And, so the person then goes on, opens up to you, becomes invested and all of that, then you now start coming later after the person has caught feelings and all, you now start saying the nonsense that, oh, after all, everyone has known that I said I don't want to have relationships, but you lied, and that makes you a liar, and that makes you a terrible person. Of course, doesn't mean God cannot forgive you, but at least at some point you were involved in deception. Own it, chest it. You lied, because every one of these people that keep saying that you don't own people, or nobody owes you fidelity or something. At some point, they knew that the person that they are telling this nonsense that they're saying has the way he or she sees these things, and had made it clear to them that these are my values, this is what I believe, and they lied that they believed and agreed with them. Then you're coming back later and changing the rules. You can change the rules, but you cannot change the fact that you hurt someone else. And that's terrible. That's you being a terrible person. And I just want to let you know that that's been terrible. Thank you.
I really don't understand the rubbish that guy wrote. I mean, I'm sorry, but I think he tweeted absolute rubbish. Imagine saying that he doesn't expect his girlfriend to think that he'll still be with her after he levels up. I mean, that's basically the summary of what he tweeted. So it's like a case of someone who has a spec, okay, but then he has not attained the status that would allow him, maybe go after his spec. And so, he just is this available person that is below his spec, but then he feels like, okay, let's just, let me just cruise along, let me just stringa along, let me just take on a ride and everything like that. And when, I attain the status that I desire, I'm going to dump her. I mean, come on. That's such a cruel thing to do. That's so wicked. And I'm sorry, but in my mind, when I read that stuff, I just packaged a little, a little thunder and sent to him. I hope thunder has fired him wherever he is. Okay, but I mean, come on, that's not necessary. Why put, someone, why intentionally hurt someone that way? You know that this person is not the kind of person you want to be with. Then why be with her or him, as the case may be? If you know that someone is not your spec, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I am all for people having specs. Okay, I particularly always, I always say, let people, be with their desires. If somebody desires something, or they desire to have this kind of thing, or whatever, let them be. Don't come to them, people do that a lot too. Someone, expresses that, oh, this is the kind of thing I want, and then, people come bearing fangs and all of that, trying to guilt trip them, trying to make them, feel like they don't, or they shouldn't, have such desires, or they don't deserve to have that, or, for, whatever reason. I particularly detest it when people, do stuff like that. I'm like, if somebody says, oh, this is the kind of thing I want, this kind of man I want, this kind of woman I want, so be it. Let them have let them at least have their desires or their preferences. It's okay. All right. But, intentionally, hurting someone along the way, okay, or dragging people into the mud, in the bid to achieve your desires and all of that. I mean, that's just nasty. It's absolutely wrong. And what this guy, I mean, it was just talking into nonsense as far as I'm concerned. You don't want to be with someone, that this is not the kind of person you want to be with. Why be with them? Or at least if you know that, okay, I want to be with someone, because I honestly always ask myself that question: must you be in a romantic relationship? Is it a must? It's not a must now. Can't you be platonic friends with people? Can't you, people that you hang out with? You people do have friends that share even deeper feelings, but not necessarily romantic feelings, okay? But then, you could have friends like that you're even, so very close to and all of that. But then everybody knows that, oh, this is platonic and everything. There are no expectations and all of that. And then, you just enjoy your life. And when you are ready, okay, to pursue a romantic relationship with the kind of person you want, then you go for it. But stringing someone along simply because you feel that you must be in a relationship, I don't understand that. What's all that? Yes, we know that not every relationship is going to end up, in something more permanent or long term, okay? But at least it's still understandable, it's still justifiable that, oh, maybe along the line something happened and then it just didn't work. That's understandable. But for you to actually, right from the beginning, you knew that this person is not someone that you want to be with, but then you went ahead to be with them for what exactly? What's the point? What's the purpose of that? Why would you raise someone's hopes, someone's expectations? Because when you are in a dating relationship, exclusivity and everything like that, there are bound to be expectations. Nobody wants to be wasting time and, whiling away time. So naturally, the other person, probably thinks that's something, more long-term is going to come out of that. And then you are now talking in the rubbish that, by the time you step up, you're going to, dump them, and you didn't expect them to think that you'll still be. I don't know. I was like, something is wrong with this guy, because it's just a wrong. It's honestly, it's a wrong mindset as far as I'm concerned, and it's wrong. People do it because he basically represents a group of people. Actually, it's happened. People do it. She was saying something like, oh, because I've stayed, she stayed with me through thick and thin, doesn't mean that I have to end up with her and all of that. Yes, again, things happen. You don't have to end up with someone because you have dated them, through thick and thin. But that will be because, along the line, you discover that, oh, you people are not, you couldn't take your relationship further. Not that right from the beginning you already knew that, oh, this person is not, you are not going anywhere with this person, but you just want to use them to catch cruise, and all of that. It is so very, very, very wrong. And but on the flip side, honestly, because what that guy said, it did, it annoyed me. But then on the flip side, I was just like, in my mind, I was like, all the motivational speakers of, oh, marry a man with vision, not television, and all of that. Hey, all them speakers are in the mud. Because like I said again, this guy, represents a group of people. Okay, a group of people who think that, look, the fact that you have been with me through thick and thin does not mean that I'm going to end up with you. And but then when, someone says that, oh, this is the kind of person I want to be with, oh, I don't want to, I want someone, and it happens a lot, with the women folk. A woman says, okay, I want to be with someone who has at least built himself up to a point, and I am hoping that the lady has also built herself up to a point. Okay, don't come and be doing leeching stuff here. Okay, and then she says, oh, this is the kind of person that I want. And then you come, people come saying, don't let your standards be too high, blah, 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 marry a person with vision, not television. And last, the man with vision will buy television and then throw, the woman out with the trash, which happens. And so it still takes me back to what I had said earlier. Then this is just on the flip side. It's not necessarily what we're talking about, but it takes me back, to what I said earlier, that we should also learn to allow people, have their preference. If somebody says this is what I want, wish them, all the best and face your front. Okay, don't come preaching at them and all of that, because this kind of things happen. Okay. And then, things go haywire simply because somebody who you think that, oh, let me build with this person, let me stick around, because they're going through this, and blah, blah. But inside of them, they actually have another agenda. So, this is life. This is the other side of it that sometimes we don't consider, when we give all those our sermons on the mount and everything. Okay, but then back to, I'm sorry, I just couldn't, I couldn't look away from that. I think probably I've been looking for an opportunity to say that. Okay, so back to, the main issue at hand. Please. It's just not, it's nonsense for you to string someone along. If you know that you don't want to be with someone, don't be with them. Go be with the person you want to be with. And if you know that, okay, the kind of person you want to be with, you can't afford them right now or blah, blah, wait. It's not a must for you to be in a romantic relationship. Actually, it's not. Don't expend all of that energy, stringing somebody along. And, breaking someone's heart intentionally. It's not good. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you know that you don't want to be with someone right from the beginning, there's room to state it up front. This is what I'm looking for. This is this is that. If they are cool with it, okay, you go ahead. But don't deceive people. Don't be a deceiver. Don't let thunder fire you.
Thank you so much, ladies. I couldn't agree any less with the both of you. You both hit the nail right on the head. And even as we're doing this, I keep seeing accounts. I keep seeing experiences of people who have been at the shorter end of the stick. In situations where they have been strung along, or where they are the ones that, or even the ones that are even taking the bull by the horn and stringing people along and not holding their own ends of the bargain. Because as far as I'm concerned, any partnership, any relationship is a bargain. You enter into it because yourself and someone else sat down and sort of set the terms of operations, and you're supposed to do something to make that partnership work. Because your relationship is a partnership, and so you're supposed to do something to make it grow. It's only when you both chip in something that relationship, that partnership is going to grow. The moment you don't put in your own end of the bargain, it then becomes a symbiotic, I believe that, no, a parasitic relationship, as opposed to a symbiotic relationship or partnership, which it is supposed to be. Even of recent, I was still reading something where people where a particular lady strung a partner along. They were not yet married, but the guy was a mechanic or something, and then he sort of, of course, used the money and stuff to send her abroad, and he went with her as a dependent. So dependent in sense of, I think, I'm guessing common law partner and stuff. Anyways, they got there, he paid for tuition, that was how they were able to go. And I think tuition was for a year or something, and he was supposed to get a postgraduate work, they were supposed to get a postgraduate work visa and stuff together. But she now says that his money, she doesn't like the way he looks, he smells, he does this, he does that, and then now she wants to leave him and marry. And she, well, as she was saying that, I was like, okay, maybe really she doesn't feel him again. Next line, I said that, oh, I've met somebody else that is, and she just met him, like they've gone on 3 dates, and he dresses well, he speaks well, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't be a daughter of the devil. And this things keep happening every single day. I would say this: it is okay to fall out of love or anything with somebody, but the moment you realize it, because most often than not, these people that want to perpetrate this act of wickedness, they would know, but instead of saying something, they would choose to keep quiet. And that exactly is where the wickedness starts from, and just goes on. If you know that you're falling out of love, or you're no longer interested in proceeding with the original terms and conditions without stringing the person along, just call the person and tell them that I'm no longer interested. If the person is doing something and you're benefiting from it, understand that you've lost it, you're going to lose it, you no longer have a hold on whatever extras that person was doing because you guys were together. Understand that, know it, and have thy peace. But no, you still want to eat your cake and have it. And that exactly is where we have problem. You know that this person wants a marriage. You know that they are staying in the relationship. They are being nice to you because they know it is going to end in marriage. You know it, that they know it. But yeah, you know you're not going to give that to them, but you still keep on doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, stop it. If that is you that listen to us, stop it. It's not fair. It's not nice to anybody. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. In fact, I recently heard of a story as well where a lady that was supposed to get married to a guy. I think the guy broke up with her and started dating somebody. No, I think I can't remember if he broke up with her or she found out. The end of the gist was that he was dating somebody else. I was going to get married to the person. I can't remember which it was, but she set him on fire. And what the guy did was, basically, he was on fire. He grabbed her and they burnt together. Although they did not die, from the last I heard, they were both in the ICU. It doesn't end well. I'm not, no, but no one should ever go that extreme. So if that ends up happening to you, unfortunately, I would advise you to take your head in peace. You've been served breakfast, take it up. And even if you're in partnerships and relationship, please, let's be smart. Sometimes the signs are always there. Sometimes the signs are not be there. Let me just say that. That's the wrong sentence. Sometimes the signs are always there. No, sometimes you can see the signs. You can see and feel the crack on the wall. If you feel the crack is on the wall, please ask your partner, ask him or her. I've noticed that you have become this, you've become cold, you're not as you were before. What's the problem? Are we still good? If we're not good, please tell me, let me know now. Don't let's just continue performing in this shadow of a relationship. If it's not working, let's know. So if you are at the other end now and the other person is being and I don't want to use a vulgar word, but if he doesn't want to, he or she, sorry, it's not gender specific. If he or she doesn't want to, specifically come out and state that this is what is happening, and you can feel or you can see, even if you're not sure, please don't wait until you're very sure. Even if you're not sure, say something. That's why the relationship. Do not be afraid to open your mouth and voice your concern. It might be nothing, it might be a cause for concern, but if you feel, if you see it, if you can notice it, please address it immediately. And let me just close by saying this: all these relationships where it's good to invest in. I don't even know. I feel like I want to go on Adenike here. If you're in a relationship, you can uplift your partner as well, but please don't leave yourself there and then go ahead, especially when you're not even married. Even when you're married, if you're not married, since that's the context we're talking about, if you're not married, please, uplift yourself as well. Please don't uplift other people for the sake of it's good for their betterment, but if you're stagnant, it might be a problem in the future, because the kinds of people that the kinds of people that are coming up, or the kinds of people that we are seeing, the kinds of stories that we are hearing is not palatable. So please don't put yourself in such situation. Avoid putting yourselves in such difficult situations. Anyways, with this, we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening to us. I had a lot of fun discussing this, and I'm sure the ladies as well had a lot of fun. Until next time, please follow us on our social media pages. On Instagram, our handle is at Gist Arena with a double A, and on YouTube it is Gist Arena. Drop your comments. We look forward to reading from you. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Gist Arena. We hope you enjoyed the topic discussed. Please drop your comments and let us know what you think about it. We'll definitely love to hear from you. Until next time, bye!